good afternoon, and welcome to Kev Talks. Oh my God, it's been a minute. How y'all like my place? Y'all like my place? Y'all like it? Y'all like it? Good. I'm glad. I want y'all to know that we got a very special guest today, and I'm happy as all get out. And he goes by the name of Mr. Angelo Ellerbee. He is the entertainment mogul to every legend that you possibly could think of. And we're going to talk to him today because he has a new book that's coming out that is actually on pre-sale right now. And so we'll get all the information and we'll talk and see what good stuff he got to say. If you guys want to chime in, please chime in. I think we're everywhere so you can get to see us. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome and bring on Mr. Angelo Ellerbee. Y'all give it up.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Kevin. And thank you for having me back onto your program. You have such a wonderful team of professionals that brings this program to the forefront. So I say bravo to you and your team of professionals. Thank you.
Well, thank you because this would not be possible without people like you to talk to. So, I mean, everybody wants to get to talk to a legend. So I'm blessed and I get to do that. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Actually, we had the pleasures of having like a little live studio audience, so we can probably, get some feedback if we need to. But let's jump right in and talk to you, Mr. Angelo Ellerbee. And you tell me to stop calling you Mr. and just call you Angelo. Can I do that today?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, cool. So let everybody know, because I know everybody knows most of everything, but you have one of the biggest PR firms and most requested PR firms in this entertainment industry. Tell us about it.
I'm very, very blessed. We're celebrating 55 years in the music and the entertainment industry. We have hosted such artists as Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, Michael Jackson, Mary J. Blige, Alicia Keys, DMX, Genuine, Soul For Real, Jodeci, the Marleys, Rita Marley, Sadella Marley, Tough Gone Records as a whole entity. Um, and our gospel arena has been Donald Lawrence, it's been Karen Clark Shears. So our list is continuing and is continuing to grow. The great thing about, I think, my firm or the firm that we have all come together to organize is that we're very diverse. We're not just dealing with Black talent, we deal with all talent. So we have represented people like the legendary Beverly Sills, the opera singer. We've dealt with and managed Laura Branigan. You would know Laura by the song Gloria. And then it was reggaeton and reggae music. We've done, from Shabba Ranks to Patra to Cobra. The list goes on and on and on and on. The movies that we've dealt with, as you know, I managed DMX for about 5 years. And underneath that umbrella, we were able to do films, Exit Wounds, The Native Son, and the list goes on. And then I worked for a gentleman by the name of James M. Tume. Everybody would know him, Tume, from Juicy Fruit and a lot of the hits for Roberta Flack, Back Together Again, The Closer
Wow.
I Get to You, and so on and so on. He did a movie. It was the first movie that Oprah Winfrey ever appeared in. It was called The Native Son. It was produced by Diane Silvers. Mtume did the music soundtrack for that movie. He went on and he taught me everything that I know to this day, and I'll love him until he's reborn again, because I really do think that his existence still remains, even though he passed about 2 years ago. His
Mm,
existence still remains with me. I try to carry that Mtume flag because that flag was so very important to me, because he made me important to him. And he taught me the who, what's, the whens, the wheres, and the whys. He taught me how to deal with white folks. He taught me how to deal with the people who was thieves. He taught me how to negotiate deals. And I'm ever so thankful to him and to his incredible family who have continued to support me in the absence of Mtume. So, we are very diverse, very, very diverse. I've dealt with politicians, ministers. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And I think the wonderful thing is that we have been supported by the masses. I would really want those African American entertainers and Latin entertainers to go back home and to use those people that look like them, that come from their countries, that's able to do all of what someone else can do. Give us
right.
give us a chance. Don't close the door to us because we are of the same pigmentation. We have the
Right.
same ability. We screw up like the same with those people of another color. But give us the opportunity to represent you. Give us the opportunity to knock down doors and open doors.
Right.
That's what's
Mr.
really important to me.
The question I have for you is, what are all those legends, right? All those people who created the 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 carpet that we walk on now. How do you feel about having that type of pressure on you? Like you mentioned people like Entombed, you mentioned Mary J. Blige, Dionne Warwick, actually. How does that feel to have been a part of those people of that caliber, a part of their?
Kevin, I never look at anyone in terms of caliber or their success, their relationships, their friends, I mean, we utilize our talents to take them to the next level, but no one is the only one that I look up to and that I admire and that I'm following is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I don't look up to no individuals like that at all. They're all people, and I treat them just like they treat me. Goods for services, services for goods. What you put in is what you get out. I've had a 40-year working relationship with Dionne Warwick. Well, my life has been a little elevator ride, but we always work it out. I am romantically in love with Dionne. She has showed me so many ways to get in and ways to get out. Um, I love my legacies. The legacies are, they're my mentors. I'm able to learn from them. I'm able to grow with them, and they're able to grow with me. I love Robert Cool Bell of Cool and the Gang. I'm romantically in love with Melba Moore. The list goes on in terms of our legacy roster, but I don't treat anybody any different. If you ain't sold one record, then you sold 100 million records. Your dollar and cent is the same as the person that ain't sold one record. You got to give everybody equal love.
The love, equal love. So do you find it that like with all the legends that are left that are still here with us, you pretty much take care of them. What about how do you feel about the industry now with the newer artists and the ways that they're going and what's happening in the industry today?
Well, what's happening in the industry today is almost a sad situation. It's almost like going to the burial site of a lot of our R&B and hip hop artists because I don't believe that the mentors are doing their jobs.
Mm.
I think it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who spoke so openly and so candidly about people of color having their own community, having their own cleaners, having their own car wash, having their own supermarkets that made us a community, right?
Mm.
Yet we closed the doors to his his way of doing things because we thought it was evil. It wasn't evil. He was just really trying to protect us as a culture
Mhm.
because we had been raped and robbed and pillaged for so many years, and it's still being raped and robbed and pillaged. I love the fact that I can do what I can do at this stage of my career. And it is about really pulling people together and making people who look like me, brown people, black people, to understand that they are stars. They
Mm.
are stars. You were born a star. Your mother was a star. Your father was a star. So that makes you a star. The thing for me is don't go outside and try to get somebody else to raise you because, the streets will raise you.
They will.
And when the streets raise you, you spell the word star backwards. That's what you turn into.
Rats.
Right. So you want to be real crystal clear about selecting the people that you put into your life. You
All
know,
these all these nuggets. You always have a lot of nuggets. But since I know you mentioned, of course, we know you worked with DMX. You mentioned Mary J. Blige. Uh, the Mary J. Blige thing brings up something for me, and I start thinking about everything that's going on with Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy, Sean, whatever And when you mentioned us coming together and as a collective, as a race, and looking out for each other, do you feel, because I hear this a lot, um, some of us feel like no one's looking out for him, for Puff Daddy or Puffy or Sean or Love, whatever he goes by today. Um, nobody's looking out for him. But then, do you feel like it's more of his responsibility and be accountable for the things that he do, because that too has a negative effect on us as a race, as artists. So I just want to know your take on that.
Well, my take is, you know what? We can become very accusatory about what somebody does, right? But if you have a park and it's a park that you've never been in before, you need to ask what's inside of that park before you go inside of that park. Don't be accusatory because somebody made you do something. Ain't nobody make you do nothing. You were more ambitious than you were ambitious. So you wanted to venture and you wanted some instant success. So you went inside of that park. You need to understand what's in that park that you're going into. Maybe it's not the park that you want at this point. If you ain't about it, then don't deal with it. Create your own park. Select your own team of people that's going to come behind you and support you in a positive light. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Stop being ambitious. Be ambitious. Do it on your own. Know who you hire. Know who you have in your life. See, for me, I've gone through that. I've gone through that 1,000 times, and I've learned from just putting people, so-called friends and so-called family members, they come in disguises and they're demons. You got to look inside of someone. You got to test them. I don't believe in marriage. I believe in engagements, courtships, and then marriage. Because when you're married, that means they get half of what you got. And I work too hard to give anybody half of what I got. So it has to be really, really real for me. And I have to assess you for 3 and 4 years before you come and be a part of my crew. See, you talked about no one is coming to his aid. There's 3 sides, maybe sometimes 4 sides. There's the truth, there's the lie, and then it's your side and their side. And the truth should never ever be on strike. If you start with the truth, you don't have to turn it into a lie. And you don't have to hear both sides of the story.
Wow.
So I don't get into the apologies. If I have another wellness person that's going through with it, you know what? Before you did what you did, you have daughters. You have a mother. That was totally uncalled for. And don't become accusatory and blame it on a substance or blame it on you. You did it. And don't that was not an apology. That wasn't nobody's apology. He ain't never said the girl's name. But the other side of the story is,
bring it.
Is that you got to be so careful about who you put yourself around. Love will kick your ass. When you think you in love with somebody, you will find yourself doing things for them that you wouldn't do for your own mother and father. You got to question what love is all about. You have to strip it down.
That's right.
And understand who's in your life. But I tell people every single day, I am romantically in love with me. I can't love you how am I love you if I'm not loving me? And if I don't share my love, and if I don't tell you how I want to be loved, you know what the accident is before it occurs.
Right. See, well, that's why. See, God knew all along. That's why his name is Diddy. Diddy did it. That was not
well, you
right.
know what? I'm going to be so honest with you. I really don't believe that he did it on his own.
Oh, I don't either.
I think there's a lot of mentors, people who don't look like him, white folks, who trained him that this is the way you have to go about living your life. Living your life.
Living your life. We heard that.
You have to understand. We think we're empowered when we got money.
Yeah,
Do you know they're going to always own us? It's almost like slavery. They're going to always own us, especially if they give us money. They're getting a percentage back off the money. They're getting half of your publishing. They get whatever.
But who is it up to to stop that? And why do we keep falling victim of allowing them to own us, to take everything from us, then to put us out there and then take us back when they feel like it and then tear us down?
Because we are ambitious. We
So
don't want to listen. We don't want to take the. We want to take the elevator and the escalator.
mm,
Nobody wants to go up the steps. If you go up the steps, you at least get a point to stop and sit down and think about your actions or your reactions to something. But when
that,
you want to, I'm sorry.
no, that is a great analogy, the steps, because a lot of times, even in working with artists and artist development, everybody look at the top and they want to get there, but they don't want to walk up the steps step by step to get there.
Because they lazy. They're lazy. They fall down. They want to give up.
Yep,
This industry is the industry is what you make that industry. Take
that's
your
true.
time and understand what your contract is. Understand the business of music, and then nobody can get over on you. They still find a way to get over on you, but at least you would have the common knowledge of how to get in and get out.
Right, right,
But we want it so fast. We
right.
want it so very fast. I've been doing it for 55 years, and my life has been an elevator. I never get on one, but it goes up and down and up and down and down and up and up and down. Filing bankruptcy, living on having a business on 7th Avenue, employing 21 people, living on 5th Avenue, all of those things. And then I gave myself a reality pill. 3 times a day, I gave myself this reality pill with a big glass of water, and I grew up.
Mm,
And
wow.
I'm not living for the Joneses. I'm living for the Ellerbee.
That see, a lot of times people don't get to hear nuggets like that, and I'm so glad that you say it that way because I feel like our industry is in trouble. Like the legends that you still represent today, we don't have them right now. There's a gap. So I tell like a lot of the artists that I work with now, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna be a legend to carry this out? Because right now y'all don't have anybody to look up to.
You know what? I think everybody should look up to God because that's the one that controls us all, right? I
Just
don't
true.
I don't trust people.
Mm.
I trust God. And for those who don't understand where I'm coming from, I just know that He's on time. And every time something goes wrong in my life, I can't reach out to no so-called friend because if you take the word friend and split it in the middle, you're gonna get END, an end of a friend. In Jesus, I know He's gonna always be there.
But you do have to trust God that He will put the right people around you sometimes.
Well,
Because
well, well, sometimes we're hard-headed.
that's
Sometimes
true.
we're hard-headed. We don't listen sometimes. We want to think that our best friend is our best friend, and that's the one that's stabbing you in the back. You want to think that the guy that gave you
Whew.
opportunity is the one that, no, that's the one that's trying to strangle you.
Yeah, true.
You got
We've
to get
all been through
your
that.
lazy ass, pick up a book, Google, understand where it is all about. It's called the 5 W's: the who, the what's, the whens, the where's, and always the whys. And the wiser you get is the wiser you will be.
You know, you just made a great segue talking about picking up a book. You know, word on the street is that you have a book on pre-sale right now.
Yes.
And you know, I saw the link. I can't wait to get it. I'm dying to know what's inside of it. But I do realize that you titled the book "Before I Let You Go."
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. And who are you letting go?
Well, there was a time some 7 months ago that I was very concerned with my health. I thought that I had cancer. I went through many, many programs only to find out that I did not have cancer. I thought this would be my final page. And I wanted to produce a book, create a book that would give advice and counsel to so many people. And it was really important for me because this book, the portions of the donations of this book is going to HIV and AIDS. In a small city where I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, they have a center in Newark where they house what is those disadvantaged youth of the community. These people are put out of their homes because of their sexual choice. They have to go and prostitute to take care of themselves and the whole of the bit. So now we're founding the Angelo Ellerbee Foundation. And what this foundation is going to do from portions of the proceeds of this book is take care of 4 individuals for a 1-year period of time. We will take care of their housing, their food, 3 meals a day, and make sure that they get into school. So this book is, before I let you go, let me love on you a little bit more. I know everybody wants to think, oh, it's a popular song of a singer. No, it's not. The book is about an inspiration of life. Do you know what? All of what we work for, all of my 55 years, it's going to go away as soon as I'm in that box. Click, click. So you got to do what God wants you to do. Share it all. Share it, lift it, give it. Because you ain't going away with nothing but your bones.
So let me ask you. So talking about that and talk about a calling, because basically that's what it is. I remember being a little kid and opening up Right On magazine and always seeing your name, and I thought it was like Angelo Ellerbee. Like, what kind of name is that? I just knew you were white because I never met a black man with the last name Ellerbee. So I'm like, not knowing that I would eventually grow up to be a grown man and meet you, and actually have you as a mentor and all that stuff. I claim all of that. So with all of that you've done, how did you figure out that what you're doing now, is a big part of your calling?
I didn't figure it out. God figured it out. And then James M2 figured it out for me. My degree is in designs. And so I went to FIT. I did fashion shows in the city of Newark for 17, 18 years. I would bring over the Patty Clevelands, the Beverly Johnsons, the Imans, the Carmen de Lavalans, everybody underneath the sun. We did it for 17 years. And in doing that, it was always set forth to raise money for AIDS and HIV. I'm a supporter of it, and particularly during that time in the 70s, they were calling gay people monkeys, and now it was just so a misunderstanding of the education of this disease that I really wanted to make sure that my community was educated and that they were stimulated and made aware of how this disease came into this country and why it was killing so many people of color. Because it was just really, really strange for me how the money was being raised for the white gay community and not being raised or the attention given to the African American. A disease is a disease, and it should have went straight across the board, but that didn't happen. So we began to do these fashion shows, and as I said, I brought in these people. My degree, again, is in fashion, and I love fashion. I love being innovative in style and going forward with it. And there's been a lot of luminary people that I've worked with and helped along the way. I'm very, very, very impressed with one stylist by the name of June Ambrose. I worked with for many years, and she's just a bundle of great, great vibes and energy. She wrote something in the New York Times recently. They asked her a question: what is it that you remember most about being in this career? And she said, there's a music publicist by the name of Angelo Ellerbee that spoke to me about options. Life has to have options. Options. It's not just one thing. You got to be able to multitask. You have to be full of vigor and excitement. You have to be a salesperson. You have to go out here and win. I'm still hustling at 67 years old. I'm still working. Okay. And I'm going to still continue to work as long as somebody gives me a check. The bottom line is that you have to really, really believe in you, because you can't sell you to somebody else if you're not believing in you. Right. It's your strength and your energy that takes you to where you really want to be, right?
Yes, sir.
And so and that's what I want around me. I want good energy around me. Mm-hmm. I want people to be excited to be around me, to draw from me my juices, my knowledge, something that, and I think that, and that's why I think that mentoring in this book, before I let you go, stands, because this book is not about the music industry. Everybody thinks it's about the music industry. It's about the homeless person. It's about the HIV victim and AIDS victim. It's about the imprisoned person. It's about the domestic violence. It's about all those people that believe that they don't have another chance. And I'm saying that God has given us so many chances in our lives that you have a chance.
Mm.
Everybody is a star.
That is that is deep, because I do feel like everybody's a star, and the issue or the challenge is just finding your star,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people look at everybody else as a star. Everybody look at Beyonce like, oh, she's this, she's that. You are too. She just
Yes.
found hers, and she found a way to make a lot of money off of it. So
Yeah,
you
but
have
you know what,
to
Kev, before that, let me interrupt you.
please.
Before she was Beyonce, she went through artist development with her father, with her mother. She paid her dues.
That's true.
Great. She's great because she put in. She
Yeah.
put in. She put in her life into this. From
Yes.
a little girl to a teenager to an adult, she put her life into it. So she went to the bank, and guess what? She can withdraw.
Secret withdrawal. That's right. Life deposits.
Yeah,
Life deposits.
absolutely.
So you said the book is not about necessarily the music industry. Um,
I talk
what
about it. I do
you
talk about it in there.
what are the things that we can expect outside of what you've mentioned about the book? Is there any like
I give
Ellerbee?
examples. I give examples.
Okay.
I talk about people, the legends, and some of
Mhm.
the things that they have gone through when they could not run, they could not walk through the front door, but had to go in the back door. Couldn't sleep in the same hotels that they were performing in.
Wow.
How they were being brutalized. Don't drink out of the same water fountain. I was watching
Mhm.
last night. I was watching last night Rustin. Did you see the
Oh,
film Rustin?
I did. I
And I
watched it.
watched that film, and it was nerve-wracking that people would act like that. And if these young people begin to go back in their history and just see that footage, they should straighten their asses up real correctly to understand what these people went through so that you can walk down the street, so that you can get an education. People fought for their rights. They fought years and years and years and fought racism.
Mm.
Racism. So
And
it's really important that we understand our history and our culture.
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say, because I think a lot of the newer generation, they don't get to understand it the same way. Like you, I don't experience it the same way my mom experienced it. I don't even know if she did,
Mhm.
because she didn't talk about it much, but I saw a lot of it on television, and I don't act like that I've experienced it the same way. Like, I don't know how True Roots is and stuff like that, but I know it had to exist, because look at it now. We in economic racism, same thing.
Racism is racism. It's one color. It's one color.
That's true. Some just been in the sun more.
There you go. There you go. Some get underneath that light.
Exactly,
And when they come
exactly.
out of there, that heart and that mind and that body and soul is still the same.
So what's next for you, Mr. Ellerbee?
Well, I'm really moving into production. I want to open up my production company. I want to do films and TV. And I really want to deal with things that are unsung. When you watch films like I watched last night, we would have never known about Rustin at all. We would have never known about James um,
Baldwin.
Baldwin. We would have never known about so many of our Black heroes. I really want young people today to understand the struggle and the plight of what one had to go through in order to get through. Do you know what I know you would never ever understand, and I'm not making this a gay conversation. I'm just making it a human conversation. To choose your lifestyle and not be able to be who you are in a community is really, really screwed up. That you had to live your life in a bag. You had to literally live your life in a closet. You had to really find people that were just like you. You could not be a part of the larger population. You had to live a lie. And I just want young people to understand that it's from the same community. These are the people that set the precedents for your freedom.
But you know, Mr. Ellerbee, you don't even have to make it a gay conversation. It's straight people. They live in a lie. Like I mean, everyone in the world now seems to be living a lie. And I think the best thing, God, I need to let that song come back out. Who you want to be? Because we're suffering. Nobody is really being who they're called to be.
You know what? I'm never ever gonna be a fake. I am the original. This is who I am. This is who I'm gonna be. I couldn't care less what you think about me, about my sexuality, about who I am as an individual. I answer to one being, and it ain't somebody with two legs. It ain't somebody that I talk to every single day.
Well, with the way you took your pictures, you are very confident. Let's see one of those pictures. I like where's the one with the white suit? I think okay. See, look at that. Show me another one. We got some pictures on you.
Huh?
See, look, that's confidence right there. How old were you in that picture?
Oh, this picture right here is recent. That picture is recent.
Wow. Okay.
That's recent. Yeah, that's very, very recent. But you know, I lived in Paris, France for 2.5 years, from 16 to 18 or 19. And I lived over there. I lived over there for those 2 years, and I tried to call myself modeling. I could never get any kind of edge up here in the United States, but because I was so thin, I went overseas. I saved up my money. I had a party and saved up my money and went overseas. My portfolio was horrible, so I didn't work the first 4 or 5 months. I wound up frying chicken and cutting up collard greens in the soul food restaurant by the Champs-Élysées. And I met a photographer, and he says, "Are you from the States?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Why are you here cooking?" And I said, "Well, I no one has hired me." And he said, "Let me look at your book." He said, "Oh, damn, that's why they ain't hired you." So he reshot me. He reshot everything in my book. And I started to work. And I stayed there for 2 years.
Wow.
And back in the day and times, they didn't take taxes out on your money. So if I made $125 an hour, I got the $125 an hour. But it was racism over there too.
Yeah, it's racism everywhere. So let us know when your book is going to be available.
So the book, I'm urging everyone to pre-order the book. They can pre-order the book now. I am starting a tour into, I think it's 26 cities. I'm starting my press junket, and the book is out in August.
Book is out in August. Okay.
Yeah, but we're going for people to pre-buy the book now.
Are you gonna we should work on setting up a small book tour for you, and then try to get you down here so you can be live and in person and talking about this book.
I would love to. I would love to.
I want to publicly thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with Miss Dionne Warwick at the Urban Honors Awards. I love that experience. Guys, I got to walk the red carpet. I ate with Miss Dionne Warwick. I went everywhere with her. I rode in the limo with her. I loved it.
She's the sweetest lady. And I felt very comfortable with putting you with her because you come with charisma, you come with charm, you come with mannerisms. And I was very safe in putting you with her. I felt very comfortable.
I love that experience. And every now and then I say, "Hey, just checking on you." She's like, "Hey." She's really, really cool. I met a few people that I think are cool we have you in common. I actually spoke to Mary J. Blige too and mentioned your name. And yeah. So everybody has these fond memories of you, and everybody holds you to the title of really being inspirational in their careers?
I try very hard. You know, sometimes you miss some, sometimes you're misinterpreted, you're misunderstood. But I think God knows my heart, and it's all
Right.
that matters to me.
Before I actually let you go, though, I want to ask you about DMX. You know, I knew Earl when I was in a play in Broadway. Millie Jackson, Young Man, Older Woman. We were there for a long time, and I became friends with Earl. He used to come and stay at the hotel with us. This was before. This was before he was rapping. He was working on his demos and stuff at that time. But this is before he became like DMX. And he was a really cool guy. But then when he became DMX, I think it was kind of like when you would see him and not being around him, when you would see him, you would think he was mean. But then he wasn't.
DMX had one of the most kindest hearts one would never ever imagine.
Wow.
He would say to me every week after the shows that what was the topic? Not did the money get to the tax office, not did the money get to the accountant's office, but did you pay my tithes?
Mm.
He wanted to make sure that his tithes were always paid. The
See,
money,
no one knew that.
money that he put out in churches across the country was unbelievable. When he stood there and he prayed, he was really praying. That wasn't pretentious. That was really real. So, you know, when you have a habit, you are sometimes just not in the right place at the right time. You're in another world. I happened to stick around for 5 or 6 years because I come from that kind of family and I understood what it was really all about. And I think it's time and I think it's patience in learning someone. It's
Mm.
just like going through someone that's going through dementia that you loved a great deal and you know they're not the same person. You have to take out the time to understand what they're going through. And you got to be able to talk about it. One of the strongest things in my life is communications, talking about what the problem is. Don't let it fester. People don't talk to people because always a misunderstanding. People say, I hate this person, I hate that person, but why you hate them? Because there's a misunderstanding.
Right.
And the misunderstanding can only be understood when you talk about it. And so
Mm-hmm.
with X, we used to, I mean, he used to cuss me everywhere, but loose. And then I would ask him something like this: did you pray today? He said, you know what, Angelo? I didn't. Let's pray. And so we were always very good when we got down to prayer. He was defiant in many ways, and he was the boss. But I also was the boss. And so we didn't always connect dots. We argued, and he called me every name underneath the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I know. That was his makeup. My foundation was different. I used the touch and glow foundation. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I didn't have to permeate my face full of foundation. I just need to touch and go. I hit on the situation. I make you remember what it was, and let's just go on from there.
Wow. And see, that's a story nobody really knows. DMX was really serious about what he said. And
Oh,
I'm sure he attributed a lot of that to you as well, because you are definitely everything you say you are. You see me hit the table and shook everything. That's
yes,
what you. That's what you do. That's your vibe.
thank you.
You make
Thank
everything shake.
you. The thing for me is understood, misunderstood. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day for me. What matters to me is that I can mentor you and that you listen, and you listen. Not just me, but someone in the next level of a life. Learn. I don't care how old you are. You can be 99. If God give you the graces to live on this earth, you can always learn and listen. Your way ain't the right way. Your way may be the highway, but you got to sit back and listen to what's around you, observe, and then make your selection as to how you want to deal with being in this industry or being in this life or being in this world.
Mm. See, look, you caused silence. I think everything stood still. But Ms. Angelo, leave us with something that you think we can take from you as far as how to move on in this crazy, crazy world, what would you leave with us?
I will leave with everyone to tell them that you are great, you're greater, and you want to become the greatest because
Ooh,
you are a star and you're one of God's children. And He doesn't create things that are not great, greater, or greatest. Claim your victory, fight your fight, and win your battle. Be who you are. Be who you are. Be original. Don't hide. Don't go in closets. Don't go in the rugs. Be who you are and be original. Don't be a copycat. Be who you are.
wow. Some people in closets with no walls holding on to the doorknob.
Yeah, yeah, they are. They absolutely are. They absolutely are, Kevin.
But I want to thank you, and I want to make sure let everyone know how to reach you, how to get to you, how to get the link to the book. It's on pre-sale right now, y'all. Please go out there and please get it. I'm sure you'll get these nuggets, but let us know. I know you have double exposure. Just let us know.
Listen, so before I let you go,
Okay.
I want you all to go. There's an icon somewhere that Kevin showed earlier. You can go there. You can pre-sell and get your book. I am at Double Exposure, New York City. I pick up my own phones. So there is no shame in my game. 201-224-6570. I like talking to people. And if I talk to you, I can urge you to buy my book. So feel free to call me up on the phone and get this pre-sale thing so I can become a New York Times, another New York Times bestseller.
I'm sure that will happen. And I just want to thank you for allowing us to talk to you, allowing me to talk to you and have this conversation. We got to do one in person. So when you get here in August, because that's when we're going to do it, we're going to sit down and open up this book and talk about it and really get into it.
I
So
appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Y'all, thank y'all for joining in with Kev Talks. We talked to the magnificent entertainment mogul, Mr. Angelo Ellerbee. And I hope you guys go out and get his book. Before I let you go, don't let anything go but get that book. So I will talk with you later, Mr. Ellerbee. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
It's been a pleasure.
And thank you for bringing my other Kevin to the stage
Oh
too.
yeah, see, yeah, I love you, love you, love you. You got the audience in here. Look at that.
I appreciate all of you all.
Yeah, we appreciate you too. Without you, hey, I wouldn't even be here. I was reading right on trying to be a star. Hey, but anyway, thank y'all very much. I'm Kevin Bryant. Yes, Kevin said it. I say the things that you think about. I didn't get to say much because you got Mr. Ellerbee. You can't talk when he's on because he got to talk. So anyway, I'll holler at y'all later and see you soon. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. No problem. I'm out.